we're just going to keep working on it. And then we're going to go ahead and do another one where we plug things in. So it says the cost Y in dollars for making bracelets is Y equals 5/10 X plus 2, where X is the number of bracelets. So this one said Y is dollars and X is the number of bracelets. Now, not a giant thing to know, but we do need to understand that for what's coming up. So I need to have 3 different values of what we're going to do for our X's. Now, before I gave them to you, so you had them. This time I'm going to pick them, but I'm not going to just give them to you outright. So here's what's going on. We're looking at this and we're saying, if X is the number of bracelets, can I have any negative values? No, because that wouldn't make any sense. You can't make a negative number of bracelets. Okay. We're not going to use 0 because 0 would mean you're not making any money. So we're just going to start at 1 and see where things go. So we've got 1 bracelet. So when I plug it in, it's saying 1/2 times 1, which is half, or 5/10, plus 2 means my Y is 2 and 5/10. So I have 1, 2 and 5/10. Okay, so, that doesn't mean a lot yet. Here we go. Let's do, let's say 6 bracelets. So we plug in a 6, excuse me. So 1/2 times 6 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5. Oh, that's much prettier. So 6, 5. Okay, and then we have, let's try 9. Okay, so we have 9 goes in for X this time. So half of 9 is 4.5 plus 2 is 6 and 5/10. And I am going to teach you a trick that would take care of these fractions or decimals, and it would make your life very, very happy. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to graph it. Now, you need to understand that when you're graphing things, okay, you're going to need to label. So I'm only going to draw the first quadrant. Why am I only drawing the first quadrant? Well, that's all I need. So, because I am always going to have positive number of bracelets and positive amount of money. So, this is my X. And this is my Y. Now, what were my Y's? Remember, we read about it. It says the Y is dollars. So I'm going to label this dollars. And down here, I'm going to label this bracelets. All right, so we went to, we did 1, 6, 9. So let's go ahead and do 10 across the bottom and see where we get to with that. So we have to label, yes, you have to label each little graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we have a lot more room. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is getting crowded. 17. Okay. Dollars. So what was our highest dollar amount? Remember, the Y is our dollars. The X was our bracelets. Okay, so we're going to go and just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. Okay. If you need to hit pause, which you should be doing every time you go to write. Hit pause and get this graph made. Okay, you have room on your page. You might need to do it over here, but you still have room. Okay, get that done and then go ahead and come back. So one thing we didn't do is that we're going to go ahead and graph these points. We had 1 and 2.5. Well, there's 2, and then halfway to 3 would be our half. And then we had 6, 5, so right 6, up 5, put a dot. And then we also had right 9 and up 6.5, and put a dot. Where does it cross the y-axis? Well, that would be if we had 0 bracelets. So if we had 0 bracelets, okay, we would have 0 right here, and my y would equal 2. So that coordinate is 0, 2, because we plugged in a 0 for x and we got out a 2. So we actually have our starting point right there. Now, you're going to use a straight edge, draw a straight line. Yes, I'm picky. Yes, you'll need to do this. It's a little hard on an iPad, but there you go. Now, we did this part. Yay. That's fantastic. We're going to go back here and read the last part. It says, how many bracelets can be made for $10? Okay, hold on. How are we going to figure out the other side? So on this one, instead of giving us how many bracelets we made, okay, they gave us an output. These are words you need to learn, input, output. And we found an input. At least we will find it in a moment. Okay, so we go back and we have our original. Y equals half x plus 2. Remember, up here I showed you x's are bracelets and y is money. So they're asking us to find out how many bracelets if we know it's $10. So we're going to take a 10 and plug it in here for the y. And then we're going to solve for x. Now, this is a two-step, so we know do and undo. Okay, so what's going on between the x and the half? This is kind of screwy. It's a decimal. If you multiply by 1/2, you're going to divide by 1/2. And no, you don't do that with decimals because you know you multiply by the reciprocal. And then we're adding 2, so we're going to subtract 2. Subtract 2. So, sad meat, we subtract 2 first, which gives us 8. And then we're going to divide both sides by half, which if you're thinking about half, that means that you're actually multiplying by 2. So x equals 16. Bracelets. Make sure you have a label. Okay, check step. Watch this. If our input was 10, sorry, not our input. If our output was 10, okay, which is what they asked us to find, so we added in 10, what did we get for our input? Well, our answer said we were at 16. 16 bracelets for $10. Well, let's go see how close we got. If we go to 16 and we go to 10, are we on the line? Yep. So that means we got it right. So 16, 10 means $10, 16 bracelets. Okay, good job, guys.